Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and join our Facebook community for epic weekly giveaways. What's up, Airsofters? One of the few truths in life is that nothing beats the classics. Music, movies, books, every genre and medium has those pieces that remain immune to trend and time. Airsoft has its own cast of classic designs. However, none can compete with the truly timeless, ubiquitous, infinitely customizable, inarguably definitive example of the word modular, the M4 AEG. Now, sure, there's no shortage of M4 lookalikes, but when you look closely, you'll see differences and details that make these particular M4s classics among classics. Deep engraved, crystal clear Colt trademarks set them squarely amidst the elite class of replicas. These are the Colt licensed elite line of M4 AEGs brought to you by Cybergun. Now, we've shown off Cybergun M4s with Colt trademarks before, and go check out that video in particular if you haven't yet. The difference is those ones had all polymer receivers, and these ones right here are made of metal, making them even more realistic and true to life than their lighter weight counterparts. As you all know, external quality is only part of the story, and that's why we'll take these M4s out to the range to give you an accurate idea of how they perform fresh from the factory, as well as take a peek inside the gearbox so you know exactly what they're made of. But first, as is tradition, we'll go over what's on the outside before we dive in. Before we dive inside. Before we dive in. You know what I'm talking about. Externally speaking, these are a prime example of what can be colloquially known as a traditional M4. There are several designs to choose from. Quad rails available in 5, 7, and 8 inch, all with recessed mock suppressors, are a definite win for special operations looks. A 10-inch key mod rail with removable segments if you want a sleek, customizable look. And then there's the most classic of them all, the M4A1 with its polymer handguard, triangle front sight post, and detachable carry handle. There are a ton of reasons the M4 AR-15 system is used around the world and why so many modern designs are based on the shape and, in particular, the control layout. Everything is right where it needs to be. A 3-position select fire switch, single hand operation mag release, comfortable A2 style grip, and multi-position retractable stock make this thing easily maneuverable, comfortable to fire, and really helps you get right on target right when you need to be. The M4A1 is the only one with a non-removable front sight post. The rest all have polymer quick deploy flip-up sights, which keep nice and low for optics but spring up with just the press of a button when you need them. We often talk about attachment space and room for accessories, and it's easy to forget that the M4 AR-15 platform is kind of where that all began. Sure, Weaver existed before, but Picatinny, the system developed with the original M16, was a standardized way for the military to mount all sorts of accessories, including optics. It's nice to have a piece of history, isn't it? So when you wonder when Picatinny was first kind of introduced and what made it the system that it is, you can thank the M16 for that. Well, I mean, you can thank the guy who came out with the M16 and then integrated Picatinny into it. You know what I mean. One thing of note, these are pre-wired to small type Tamiya, so make sure you're choosing your battery with the correct connector. And if you've got one with a crane stock, these Titan Power 11.1 volt lithium ion 3000 milliamp batteries fit perfectly. Part of what makes the Airsoft M4 so desirable is the ever popular version 2 gearbox. These gearboxes are as customizable as the rest of the M4, with endless parts and possible upgrades, making them very popular to work on. These Colt licensed M4s have a relatively standard and reliable set of internal parts, with a few important upgrades. 18:1 gears are standard ratio, but the piston has all metal teeth with the second tooth already removed. And instead of just bushings, these gearboxes have 8mm bearings, helping things run fast and smooth. The gearbox shell has radiusing molded in, and a quick change spring makes changing FPS easy since you don't even need to take the gearbox out of the lower receiver to swap springs. The rest of the parts include a full cylinder, polymer cylinder head, and nozzle with no O-ring. Compression could be improved with a little bit of work, and the motor has ferrite magnets. These M4s could be the perfect starting point for anyone looking to start teching on their own AEG. Because they've got version 2 gearboxes, upgrades are easy to find and tutorials are everywhere. And these gearboxes already have 8mm bearings and a steel tooth piston right from the factory. For ideas on upgrade parts, check out our videos or give our tech department a call. Links are in the description. The results of our chrono test showed an average of about 360 FPS and a rate of fire of about 16 with an 11.1 volt LiPo battery. Of course, this test was accomplished with 0.20 gram BBs, which is the standard for chronoing at fields here in the US. Next, we moved out to do our range and accuracy tests. Starting at the 50-foot line, we were easily placing hits on our 6-inch steel target, as well as easily hitting the center of mass on our Evike professional silhouette targets. Out at 100 feet, we saw the spread grow a little bit, and while we were able to place some hits on our 6-inch steel target, we found a lot more hits on our silhouette targets, easily placing them on a body size target, of course with the spread being a little bit larger than at the 50-foot distance. The Cybergun Colt licensed Elite Line M4 AEG blends beautifully crafted, classically styled externals with buttery smooth dialed in performance that's sure to leave your teammates jealous and your opponents running for cover. Add one or all of these 7 classic designs to your Airsoft collection. Check them out right here at Evike.com. Thanks for watching.